Hi, my friends. It's your tour guide to the wrestling side, me, Preston E. And my voice is cursed right now. I don't know if it was Danhausen or the pollen. But on this video, we are going to have a look at another cursed wrestler, or a wrestler who does the cursing. What a naughty boy, in Papa Shango. Way back when, in 1991, Charles Wright, who would later be known as the Godfather and the Not-So-Good Father, would show up in WWF on May 28th of that year on an episode of WWF Superstars. Known as Sir Charles as a nod both to his real-life name and NBA star Charles Barkley, he showed up in Tucson for a house show. He would show up in a dark match against Del Wolf later that year in the special pay-per-view this Tuesday in Texas. In January of 1992, he was repackaged as a voodoo practitioner called Papa Shango, complete with a painted skull face as a nod to Baron Samedi, a smoking skull cane, a top hat, and supernatural abilities. These supernatural abilities allowed him to light jobbers on fire in the ring, make Gene Okerlund and the Ultimate Warrior secrete oil, strike it rich, and later make the Ultimate Warrior vomit green slime like he's Linda Blair from The Exorcist. Bret Hart would call Shango's feud with the Warrior, where he cursed the Ultimate One, the second worst storyline ever, second only to the Gobbledygooker's debut. High praise indeed. When Papa Shango wasn't cursing the Wild Warrior One, he was famously botching the end of the Hogan-Sid match at Mania 8 by showing up too late to break up the pinfall attempt of Hogan on Sid. Sid would go on to kick out, and he and Shango beat down Hogan, which would lead to the Ultimate Warrior coming out to save Hogan and begin a feud with Shango. From there, Papa Shango would be cursed to pay-per-view dark matches mainly, but he would get to fight Bret Hart in November of 1992 for Hart's world title at Saturday Night's Main Event 31. He would lose to the surprise of, no one, and would be further cursed by being eliminated in 30 seconds at Royal Rumble 1993 by the Nature Boy himself, as the first to be eliminated in the match that year. He would further be cursed with a loss to Tito Santana in a dark match at Mania 9, and would go on to lose to Jim Duggan in a qualifying match for the King of the Ring tourney in 93. Duggan made Shango his Shang-Ho! Oh, wouldn't be a loss for Big Papa Shango, though, as he would beat Owen Hart for the USWA title in a dark match at the same pay-per-view, only to lose it back to Owen in June. After the loss, he had 2 more TV matches against enhancement talent before Shango went up in a puff of smoke, never to be seen again as Shango in the WWF. Unless, of course, you count him pranking people along with the Boogeyman on WWE's prank show Swerved. And that time he showed up at Broken/Woken Matt's House of Hardy Halloween party, so all was not totally lost. Most recently, Wright brought back Papa Shango down under, in Australia, not hell, for a match against some dude called This Guy for Battle Championship Wrestling. Some fun facts of the big bad voodoo daddy is that Vince McMahon had him paint his face as Shango because he didn't think Wright's baby face matched his scary swole body. Rumors also swirled in the fall of 1994 that Papa Shango was going to come back to the WWF to be the cause of Bob Backlund snapping and turning bad guy due to a voodoo curse. Bob would turn heel, but not due to the voodoo curse, but because he would just get sick and tired of being Mr. Nice Guy. A guy can only take so much of being called Opie Taylor, after all. Papa Shango may have been voted the most embarrassing wrestler and the worst gimmick by the Wrestling Observer newsletter in '92, but he sure scared the crap out of me as a kid in the early '90s. This dude creeped me out even more so than The Undertaker back then. I would have to leave the room when he came on, but I was also kind of a fraidy cat as a kid, and even Lurch from the Addams Family would cause me to go into a panic too. The thing with Papa Shango and his voodoo curses was it was played as serious, and even in the early '90s WWF, that was largely seen as corny. Danhausen, on the other hand, went the exact opposite route and plays his curses for laughs, and he is a human money's-making machine because of it. Who knows, though, maybe Shango will return one day to battle Danhausen in a curse-off. A boy can dream, can't he? Well, thank you so much for watching, and please like, sub, and share, or you are cursed. I'm only kidding.